Alex driving baselines. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that? Step back three,
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic, it was impressive, it was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melvin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Cooney connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be. Hello and welcome to Red Energy Arena in Bendigo, where the ladder leaders, the Spirit, host last year's champion Southside in a Victorian derby to conclude round 14 of the Signet WNBL competition. The Spirit are marching towards the finals off the back of an 8-game winning streak. And while the Flyers are at the opposite end of the ladder, they are just one of 2 teams to have beaten Bendigo this season as they look to cause another upset today. Jess Webster with you alongside renowned women's basketball coach Laurie Chiswick. Laurie, great to have you here for some Sunday afternoon hoops.
Well, you never know in this competition. Last night was a classic example when Adelaide beat Perth, so it doesn't matter where you're sitting on the ladder. This is 1 versus 8. Anything can happen. And Southside will want to be the spoilers.
Absolutely. So many twists and turns as we race towards the finals. A couple of rounds to go. Bendigo, well, they sealed a place in the finals on Wednesday night with that win over She is, of course, a 2-time WNBL Premiership player with Bendigo, 2-time WNBL All-Star 5 player. We're talking, of course, of Gabe Richards. Her Guernsey is retired, proudly displayed here at Red Energy Arena, and she recently caught up with one of her teammates from those Premiership days in current Bendigo captain Kelsey Griffin.
I'm here with Spirit superstar Kelsey Griffin. Kels, it's been 10 years since the Spirit have been to the pointy end of the finals. Tell me, how's it feel to be back there?
Look, it's special. I think when you've played for as long as I have, you know not to take these things for granted, but especially, you know, when I decided to come back to Bendigo, this was certainly on the agenda of things I wanted to do for this club, but I'm really proud of how we've done it. You know, I think we've come together, we've put a great group of great people, we've got the community behind us. There's just this environment, this feeling about it, which makes it all that more special than just, you know, ticking a box and going to finals.
Yeah, and obviously you're a seasoned pro when it comes to winning championships with the Caps and obviously the Spirit. Tell me, how does this team compare to those previous teams that you've won flags with?
Oh, look, it's so hard to compare teams. Even just for me personally, I'm at a different point in this journey than I was at each of those phases. But I think one thing that I can say is there's really a deep sense of gratitude amongst the group. And I think that comes with experience, but also from our younger players really appreciating opportunities and what this means, but us, you know, who've been here before leaning into it and knowing how hard it is to do and how hard, especially this way. And so I think there's just a general sense of appreciation and gratitude amongst the group.
Fantastic. All the best today. Can't wait to see you out on court.
I am so excited. I'm happy you're on sideline, Gabe.
Thanks, Kels. Also here with me is Bendigo basketball royalty and Southside Flyers head coach, Chrissy Harrow. Hey, Chrissy.
How you going?
Good. Hey, how is having the inside scoop on a few of the Spirit players, some of our championship winning teammates, helped you with today's scout?
Oh, look, that was a long time ago now. That was like over 10 years ago. But, oh, look, they're a team that we do play well against. And I'm not sure how we do it because week in, week out, we're completely different. But I don't know, maybe just because they're the top team, our girls come ready to play. And But yeah, our last 2 games have definitely been an exciting match for people to watch.
Yeah, you've had a lot of close losses this season, but you are also one of only 2 teams to have beaten the Spirit this season. So how do you recapture that success that you had in round 8?
Yeah, it's hard against this group. I mean, they have so much experience and so many great superstars, and they play well together. So it's hard to stop one person because somebody else can step up for them. But it's a matter of playing our team defense that we do well sometimes. But if we can do that for 40 minutes, we should be okay.
Thanks, Christy. We look forward to a great game today.
Thank you.
Of course, of Sammy Whitcomb and Naz Hillman leading the points leaders for the competition this year. Cannot wait to see this matchup unfold.
Well, you'd have to say that these two, in my estimation, are leading the MVP count, you know, the 2 of them. And they're different positions, you know, they don't match up on each other, but Hillman and Whitcomb, we saw the points that they score. Hillman's very influential in her rebounding, Whitcomb in her assists. Hillman's the inside present. Whitcomb runs the floor, sets up her teammates, but can score as well, as we can see. So they are great players to keep an eye on in tonight's game.
Alice Kunek, of course, playing her 250th WNBL game. Congratulations to Alice. What a superstar she has been for the competition across many years.
Well, she has, and it's good to see her. You know, last year she came back and played in Australia. We had missed her for a while playing overseas, so it's great that she reached that WNBL 250 game mark.
So here we go, Sunday afternoon hoops from the Red Energy Arena in Bendigo, and it will be the home side with first possession today, looking to make it 9 in a row. They are in all sorts of fine form at the moment. Southside, though, won the last time these 2 sides met as Whitcomb lets it fly early and it's off target. As Rochi takes it down the floor. She's one of their best against Townsville on Friday night, captaining in the absence of Bet Cole. Naz Hillman, who we've touched on, is also having a fine season. Rochi from outside the perimeter to get us underway.
Great start for Maddie Rochi. A little step back 3. That'll go a long way in setting her up for how her mindset was scoring.
And the way Southside went about it against the Fire on Friday night, Laurie, they had great energy and they really took it up to Townsville. They just didn't quite have the class at the end of the day, but you can't fault their intent.
Well, I was actually live at that game, first live game I've seen all season, and it was really, you know, the energy that, because they were really undersized compared to Townsville, the Flyers, and they just did a great job. And so they'll want to bring that same sort of energy, and knowing that they can compete with his top teams. And as we've mentioned, they've beat Bendigo already.
Hasn't been a season that they would have liked the defending champs. They've lost 7 in a row. And they're on the bottom of the ladder, and they wouldn't want to finish bottom. So if they can get a scalp along the way in the last couple of rounds, it might just help them avoid the wooden spoon. Certainly a club with plenty of pride. Whitcomb swings it across to Wilson. Wide open for 3. Rattles out. A couple of opportunities going begging for the Spirit early.
Well, you know that they're going to put up 3s. If they're open, they're going to put them up. If not, then they're very good at executing and getting each other open.
And a great crowd in attendance today here in Bendigo, supporting their local side who have booked their place in the postseason thanks to a win against Geelong on Wednesday night.
Gabe Richards said it's just rained recently in Bendigo, and we know how hot it is right now in Victoria, and so she said it's very steamy in the stadium right now.
Southside looking to continue their strong start. Rochi can't get it to go. Burton goes to Whitcomb. She lets it fly from outside the arc, and another miss.
So you can't give Sammy Whitcomb too many open looks like that. There was a little bit of hesitation of whether to close out long, and she doesn't need much time to get a shot off, and fortunately for the Flyers, it didn't drop.
Here's Burton. 31 points last time these two sides met in round 8. Whitcomb looking to work her way inside, takes on Reed off the glass again.
Really
Can't
good
convert.
defense by Reed. She used her length. She stayed connected with Sammy.
Connect in game number 250. Can't get her scoring off to a bright start. Flyers with an early 3-point lead. Just the one bucket today so far. Griffin gets the Spirit.
Good second effort by Mariana Tola just to tap the ball inside to Griffin.
Rochi, oh, denied. Kelsey Griffin. Rochi from the baseline, gives it to Reed. Now to Kunek. Takes on Griffin. Drives hard and can't get it to go. Sweeping pass from Wilson to Tolo. Kicks it out to Wilson into the corner, and they swing it around. Griffin for Whitcomb. Lets it fly again, and this time it drops.
Yep, you cannot go under the screen. They've really got to sort their defense out against Sammy Whitcomb. How are they going to defend that? Are they going to double? Are they going to switch aggressively? Whatever they do, they need to sort that out quickly.
Rochio, well done from Burton. Stood in the way. Takes it down the floor. Whitcomb. Back to Burton in the corner. Rochi defending. Over the top to Wilson. Now they go inside to Tolo. She draws the contact. Hard to stop in that position. Let's head courtside and check in with Gabe. Hello to you, Gabe.
Hello, how are you?
Going well. What are you noticing early stages down there?
Today is really high from both sides. We can see that Bendigo really have to go the extra pass to find an open shot. And early on, they weren't hit on that last one, and it's looking dangerous. Whereas Southside are looking to get their feet in the key and doing an excellent job of putting pressure on the rim.
Thanks so much, Gabe. Looking forward to your contributions this afternoon. She's royalty in this part of the world, and we're lucky to have her.
You can see Samuels, Casey Samuels has entered the game pretty early, and I would think especially, well, really both teams will want to rotate their players because of the heat and the humidity, but great finish there.
Here's Whitcomb. Looking to make her presence felt early. She's just warming up.
Well, often Whitcomb sort of gets her teammates involved early and you know, becomes the facilitator early and then takes over in the fourth quarter. But right now, she's all set early. She's had a couple of really good looks at the basket, nailing that last three.
And as we head to a timeout here in the first quarter, let's check in with Alice Kunek, who plays her 250th WNBL game today.
I'm here with 250-game superstar Alice Kunek. Alice, it's wonderful to have you back in the WNBL. You've enjoyed such a decorated career here on Australian soil and abroad. Tell me, what does it mean to play 250 games in the WNBL?
Look, it's a really special achievement and one that, you know, I didn't know if I'd get there in the end, but, you know, I'm really grateful to be here and still be playing in the league. It's such an amazing league, and I've been really fortunate to play all around the world, but there's no place like playing at home on Australian soil, and I'm, you know, joining a lot of amazing people, a lot of amazing players, and yourself as well, playing 250 games, so it's really special.
Wonderful. And what keeps you going? Like you said, you've been going for a while. What keeps you going?
Yeah, look, that's a really good question. I think, my body's healthy, my mind's good. We're so blessed to play this game, and there's a lot of people that don't get to this achievement and get to keep playing at this healthy stage. So, as long as I'm really enjoying it, I want to keep learning and growing. I want to keep playing the game, but, it's been really good to me, so I'm really grateful.
Brilliant. All the best for 250. We can't wait to watch.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Gabe.
A wonderful achievement for Alice Kunek.
Well, it's great to hear that she's, she's healthy, she's still enjoying her basketball, and as long as she is, she wants to keep playing.
It's Maddie Rocci giving it to Hillman. Back to Rocci, up and in.
Really good poise by Rocci. She missed that, looked at that opportunity, the first one, gave it to Hillman, then relocated herself straight away and got a nice open look.
10-7 the way of the Spirit. 5 minutes to go in this first quarter.
That's good team defense, good rotation. With the ball out of Whitcomb's hand, Maddie Rocci dropped low to get a hand on that ball.
How would you approach a contest like this if you're Southside? You're on the bottom of the ladder, you're taking on the team on top, have won 8 in a row. How do you prepare for a game like this?
Well, I think just once they're the bottom of the ladder, they've played some really good basketball, and they've lost some really close games. They've had some injuries that, their adjustments have been good. I think you just still have to stick. You can't make any massive changes at this stage, especially against a team like Bendigo. So you just have to be confident in what you're doing and what you've done all season.
And as a coach, is it more about mentally getting your players prepared for a contest like this deep in the season as opposed to, any kind of, I guess, technical areas of the game you want to focus on?
And I think that's exactly right. You mentioned they don't want to be bottom of the ladder. They don't want to be wooden spoon. They'd love to be a spoiler. I'm sure Adelaide were thrilled last night to beat Perth and know that they're, they can compete. They can shape the finals. So it's always good with a team that doesn't have any chance to get in the finals, still playing hard.
Nice move from Lockridge. He draws the foul. She's headed to the line for the N1.
And I think, too, just as a professional athlete and player, once you get on the court, you just want to go hard, regardless of, where you sit on the ladder, who you're playing. You want to go hard and prove to yourself, to your team, to your teammates, that you can still get this done.
Absolutely. White line fever plays a role.
It does. We're all competitive beasts at some stage.
Absolutely. So a good contest early. Spirit by 5. Sammy Wicken into the corner. Samuels gets under Kunek. Can't convert. Lockridge hands it off to Rocci. All the way herself. Just can't find the finish, but Hillman does. And gets the M1 too.
That is one thing I do like about the Flyers, that and I think they need to do that in this afternoon's game, is push the ball at every opportunity. Force the Spirit to match up nice and early on them. And you've got the likes of Hillman, who, she is such a strong finisher. She's, you get the ball near her, she finishes strongly inside. She's second in the competition at 56.4% in field goal percentage. So, that idea of pushing and challenging early, I think, is great for the Flyers.
Stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. Flyers staying in touch, only down by 2. Samuels off the glass for a couple.
See Carly Ernst into the game now. It's good to see her back playing after missing so much with a back injury.
Kunek for 3, bounces off the rim. Look at a little fumble, Rocci. Look at the intent from Maddie Rocci. Speak about competitiveness.
Exactly.
That is Maddie Rocci to a T.
It is, and it's great to see, and that can inspire your teammates too. When you dive on loose balls, when you put up that extra effort, you can see her challenging Whitcomb.
Several weeks out with a back injury. They've had their issues with injuries this year, Southside. Still hoping to finish their season on a high in the last couple of rounds, potentially avoid the wooden spoon.
Carly Ernst has only played 7 games this season, so she'll be enjoying getting out there these last few games.
Hillman looks to go inside to Ernst. Working hard. Just can't get the finish. Samuels hands it off to Whitcomb. Good defense from Lockridge.
Great steal. Not often can you pick the pocket of Sammy Whitcomb.
Absolutely. Can they capitalize and convert? Rochi is off target. Here's Burden. Had a day out in round 8. The last 2 times these teams met. Here's the rebound. Hands it off to Whitcomb and cleans it up.
That's the thing about Bendigo is that you can't stop, you can't ball watch, you can't see what's going on, you know, because if you ball watch too much, somebody's going to sneak around somewhere, and they've had a couple of baskets like that.
Look at him in double digits already, up to 11 points. He's on fire. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the first. Number 1 in the competition for average points per game, 20.
She's also number 1 in the competition for three-point percentage at almost 41%. So, and she shoots a lot of them. She's shot 150 so far. So, you know, that's an amazing feat to shoot that many at that great clip.
Just had an incredible season. We can't speak about it enough because to be consistently that great week in, week out, here she is again working on Lockridge and adds to her tally.
So that's the thing. We talk about her three-point shooting and her you know, percentage from the three-point line. Yet she certainly gets her feet in the paint, and nice little finish there by Hillman in answer. But Sammy Whitcomb just has the complete package.
Certainly one of the MVP leaders today, as she touched on pre-game. Her and Hillman right up there.
And she's
a woman on a
little bit agitated the way Rochi is guarding her. Rochi's guarding her very strongly, very closely.
Plenty of fans here at Red Energy Arena enjoying Sunday afternoon hoops. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you may be watching. A couple of rounds to go before a highly anticipated final series. It's been an incredibly competitive run towards the postseason in the Signet WNBL competition.
You see Teo Burrows entering the court for Southside.
Whitcomb taking on Rochi. 15 points already for Sammy Whitcomb. Ernst over the top to Hillman. Decides to go herself and take him on. What a move.
So great, Naz Hillman. And as I said, she's so proficient when she gets that ball in the paint and she goes up, she finishes strongly. She's got wonderful hands. And she's just so poised whenever she gets the ball inside. But we can see Whitcomb there just forcing her way in.
Let's check in courtside to Gabe Richards. Gabe, we've been chatting about Sammy Whitcomb early. What are your thoughts on the superstar?
Look, today, if you had have asked me, I would have thought that the floor wipers might have been our MVP. It's so humid here, but Sammy is certainly putting her hand up for contention. She's got 15 points here early, and she's doing it from everywhere, from 3, and she's also getting her feet in the paint really physically and finishing strong.
Certainly off to a flyer is Sammy Whitcomb. Flyers are staying in touch, just 4 points of difference.
So that turnover came about a really hard show by Carly Ernst and just got a hand in there and sent it over a line, and they get the ball now. But that's what they're going to have to do. They have to be aggressive. They have to be really proactive on defense.
Have to get it done at both ends of the floor today. They're going to cause another upset. Rochi for 3. Hillman with the rebound and the putback. Nicely done.
So nice if you're a player and you shoot the 3 ball and you know that you've got one of the best rebounders in the competition there ready to scoop up any misses like we just saw Hillman.
Griffin to Werung. Off to Burton. Takes on Lockridge. And gets the and 1.
That was pretty good defense by Lockridge, but what a great, even better finish. Just dropped her hands at the last second, but really stayed connected with Burton, and that was a really good, strong finish.
Her first points of the afternoon. Great start to this contest. Final game of round 14. We're into the final minute. It's come unstuck for Southside. Chance for Bendigo to put the foot down in the shadows at quarter time. Burton to Griffin, so tough in this position.
Well, when Griffin rolls to the basket after setting that pick, she's just so strong. And her players know to just get her the ball. Burton and her have a great connection. You just see that roll there. There was a switch. Such high IQ the Bendigo Spirit have.
WNBL fans, it's time for you to vote. Cast your vote for the Ford Fan MVP, and you could be the lucky fan presenting the award live at the WNBL Awards Night. Head to the WNBL website and vote now to go in the draw to win 2 tickets, flights and accommodation to the WNBL Awards evening.
How exciting would that be for somebody?
Amazing.
Yes. It's a great night, the WNBL Awards Night.
So make sure you head to the WNBL website and get involved. Foul called. Booth comes onto the floor for Bendigo. A couple of their stars having a rest.
Well, as I mentioned, both coaches have certainly gone deep into their benches early on, knowing that this sort of drains you, this sort of temperature and humidity in a game. And so, you know, trying to manage minutes and players is very important.
Rochi takes a deep breath. That one rolls in, 2 from 2. Flyers stay in touch. 30 seconds to play. Tolo gets the foul. So well drilled, Bendigo. Stacks of experience in this side. Generally takes a full 4-quarter effort to take them down.
Mariana Tolo shoots the free throws at 82%, as does, let's be serious here, their top 7 players, I'm going to call them their Super 7, all shoot the free throws at over 82%. That's phenomenal as a team like that.
It's incredible.
Maddie Rochi going for the last shot of the first quarter.
What is she going to manufacture? Looking for support. Oh, they've turned it over. Maybe a last chance here for Griffin to make them pay on the quarter time buzzer. Can't make it count, and that'll do us for the end of the first quarter here at Red Energy Arena. It is the Bendigo Spirit leading the Southside Flyers 30-22. Welcome back to Red Energy Arena. It is quarter time. The ladder leaders Bendigo Spirit leading. Last year's champion Southside flies by 8 points at quarter time. Let's head courtside to two-time Bendigo Premiership star Gabe Richards. Gabe, what were your takeaways from the first quarter?
The defensive intensity was really high, but I listened into Christie's huddle for the quarter, and she had one clear message for her team, and that is you've got to know where Sammy Whitcomb is. With 15 of their 30 points for the quarter, she's certainly done a lot of the damage.
Thanks so much, Gabe. Definitely issues for Southside trying to keep Sammy Whitcomb in check. Laurie, 15 points in that first quarter. She was on fire.
Well, 15 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists in there as well. So, yes, she certainly is.
Let's see if Southside can tighten up defensively against the superstar. He's Werung in the corner. Kick off the second quarter. Booth takes it away for the Flyers. Lockridge to Reed. Booth now looking to make a move. Hands it off to Lockridge. Just fumbled at the crucial moment. It's come unstuck. Werung to Burton. Feet set open for 3. Can't get it to go.
Great block out by Alice Kunick on Kelsey Griffin.
Shares it with Ernst. Now off to Lockridge. Booth, now they go inside to Kunick. In a milestone game. Good defense from Abby Werung. It'll remain on the south side.
Well, Kunick went in there realizing that she had a mismatch on Abby Werung, but you can see Kelsey Griffin coming flying over there to help out, just putting some extra pressure on her.
Whistle on play. So we'll reset and do it all again. Goes to Ernst. Tola got a hand in there. Wickham 15 points in that first quarter. Nice Hillman with 10 as well. Started strongly. 2 of the top point scorers of the competition going head to head today. Alice Kunick working on Griffin. Griffin says, not today. Burton to Whitcomb. The hot hand and continues to add to a tally. Giant smile on her face. She's unstoppable at the moment.
That's the beauty of Sammy Whitcomb, Kelly Wilson, Burton. They can interchange whether they're running the lanes, whether they're bringing the ball up the floor.
Goal and 1 goal only for Southside Flyers, and that is to find Sammy Whitcomb. She's got 18 points already.
That was a nice cut by Tara Reid, just using her screens, curling around. They got the ball into her high, and she was able to finish. They really needed that basket, Jess.
Absolutely. Let's head courtside to Gabe Richards, who was lurking around the Bendigo huddle at that last time out. Gabe, what did you hear?
Coach Kennedy is obviously incredibly happy with the spacing that the Spirit have got and finding their open players. They're doing a great job of moving the ball and being unselfish to find a better shot when there's one on offer.
Can't convert. Spirit now in cruise control. Griffin, that wobbles in. Danger signs now for Southside a little bit, Laurie?
Absolutely. That's just a D-trans. That's just not getting back quickly enough, and that's really an effort thing. And so Christie would be disappointed with that.
Sammy Wickham breaks it up. She's doing it at both ends of the floor at the moment. Here she is, ball in hand this time. Feeding Tolo, it takes on Kunek. Big collision.
See, that's Sammy Whitcomb's IQ was on display there. She knew she was being doubled as soon as she came off that, and that her Mariana Tolo would be rolling, and so just picture perfect pass into her teammate inside.
Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in their field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. Rare miss from the charity stripe for Tolo and Bendigo. Follows it up with a swish. To a 12-point gap now, the Spirit. Southside looking for a response. Can't respond from Bird. Into the corner for Whitcomb. Oh, she can't miss! She's up to 21 points.
Wow. That's her average for the season so far, and it's only in the second quarter.
It's an unbelievable performance from Sammy Wickham. We saw a 40-point performance from Shanice Swain a couple of weeks ago. On track for that here today. Burton hands it off to Tolo. Off the glass for two, and the N1.
Well, that was a real miscommunication on that on-ball screen, and Burton was just used it with such poise out there that, you know, you could see both Hillman and Reed go with Burton. There was the communication, and Tolo just really easily rolled and finished.
Rattles out, can't complete the three-point play. But Bendigo Spirit dominating at the moment on their home floor. The final home game of the regular season. Giving their fans something to cheer about. Peter Young handing it off to Lockridge. The two just comes up short. But they win it back.
Nice hand by Young.
Lockridge this time goes for three. So can't get it to go. Samuel's working hard inside against Hillman. It's Bendigo by 8 points at quarter time, and they've added to their advantage here in the second. Guys just looking to settle. Can Ernst provide a much needed basket that rattles out?
The thing about Southside right now is they're not really, just have a look at this shot here. They're not really shifting the defense too much. They're not making Bendigo navigate screen after screen.
Wickham pulls the trigger. Great tap there from Wilson to keep it alive. Wickham should go for it again. No, this time does the unselfish thing and hands it off to Tolo.
That is just the chemistry between the players on this team. And you have to get up and guard Whitcomb, and then just a little fake and pass to Tolo. So nice.
Here's Young working their way inside. Ernst to clean it up. Rolls in. Much needed points for the Flyers to try and keep in touch here. 5 minutes to go before half-time. Need to try and arrest this momentum that Bendigo have generated. As Young goes to ground. And they went back. This is our Amy replay. Sammy Whitcomb off to Tolo. Beautiful combination. So Wickham into 21 points so far. Tolo up to 9, including the 4 rebounds and a couple of assists as well. Sammy Wickham, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 4 steals already. Nars Hillman, she's had the 10 points for the Flyers today. Shot clock ticking down, so Lockridge will need to pull the trigger, and it drops.
There's a couple of good baskets there from the Flyers. Their challenge is to stay up and in and positive, but for Bendigo, you know, they want to make sure they maintain their focus. You don't want to get a good lead and then just start practicing or, you know, doing some uncharacteristic things. They need to, and it's hard, but they need to try and keep at this high level.
Adeweram Tolo has Ernst for company. D from Ernst. Even better rebound from Tolo. Up and in, not quite for Whitcomb. Disappointed with herself, but Burton gives it back to her. And she misses that attempt. She certainly had the hot hand in this opening half. As Young for the Flyers, off to Rock. Just loses her feet in crucial time.
Good idea to slash to the basket, Rock. She was going hard. She was actually ahead of her defender, and it was a nice pass, just wasn't able to finish.
Timeout here in the second quarter with 3 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock. The Spirit leading comfortably here at Red Energy Arena.
Sorry, Jess, both these teams are without a couple of players, and it's probably really affected Southside the most just because they're down anyway. But if we just listen to Christy Harrower and let's hear what she has to say first.
Top flip smashes with this group, smaller group, top flip smashes. Yep. Top flips.
Fort Dealer is all about supporting the game here in Australia. From Fort Aussie Hoops to the WNBL. They've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit court, your local Fort Dealer is here to help you get to the game. So great access there at the last timeout. And 2 coaches firing off some key messages. But you were saying, Laurie, a couple of young guns missing in action today.
Well, they are. It's the under-20 nationals being held in Ballarat the past week, and a couple of players that play for Manny Potch for Southside and Asha Nightingale for Bendigo are both on the Victorian team. And they lost a close one last night to New South Wales by 2 points, but they beat South Australia by 1 point today. But those players, Manny Potch, 25 points, Asha Nightingale, 15 points, top scored for their team. So you can just see the progression from state programs into the WNBL and these teams, and they're getting minutes. And how great is it for some of them to train against these high-level athletes? I mean, Manny Potch, there she has Hillman to go with, and Asha Nightingale, well, goodness me, Sammy Whitcomb, Burton. So it's just a great experience for them to play with the WNBL, but then also go and represent their state at the Nationals.
Sammy Whitcomb adding to her tally here, but talk to us about how important it is to balance the experience between playing at WNBL level, but also getting the experience at, I guess, junior level and in those national championships, because they're missing a WNBL game to play in that championship. But how important is that experience?
Well, tell you what, Manny Potch got picked up on Thursday night, played on Friday, got driven back, and then played on Saturday and Sunday. So it is a balancing act, but it's very important as Sammy Whitcomb just keeps on rolling. Another three. I think she's going to set a record this game. But it's really important that they do have a balance because they don't star in their WNBL team. So it's important that they go back and play with their peers and be seen in that, because you know, they'll be putting their hands up for the Gems and for different junior national teams. So it's a really good experience, and it's great that the clubs have released them to go play these games.
Absolutely. So fantastic performance from the Victorian under-20s this afternoon. As we are watching here one of the all-time first half performances from one of the leading MVP contenders of this season, Sammy Whitcomb, knocking down her sixth three-pointer, and we're not even done in the first half. As Naz Hillman finds herself at the line. Much needed points for the Flyers as this margin is now out to 18 points. 2 minutes on the clock in the first half. Whitcomb's on 26 points. 6 from 10 at the three-point line. Tolo, oh, Rock, well done to cut it off.
Really good by Rock, just dropping down, knowing that that was the next exit pass when you're being doubled, and so she did a good job to get a deflection.
Wickham having a well-earned rest on the bench at the moment. And a bit of relief, I think, for Southside at the moment to have her on the floor. She's playing incredibly well. Griffin's off target, wins it back.
Well, we heard Christy Harrow at that timeout just imploring her players to play with some energy.
Which they did so well against Townsville on Friday night. Wickham off the glass, can't convert. It was very much a never say die attitude on Friday night, so looking to recapture that this afternoon, and it always starts with energy and intent, because they've got the talent. This Bendigo Spirit outfit is riding high in all sorts of confidence. As Ernst knocks one down from deep.
That's Carly Ernst's game, pick and pop. What she's built her reputation on.
Bendigo swing it around. And Simpson looking to make her move. Well done, Nikita Young. Great defense. Now looks to go all the way herself. Excellent work from Young.
Well, it is when you can get a really high quality stop at the other end. They were really smothering the Bendigo Spirit, and then to get a breakaway and to attack the rim and now find yourself at the line is a really good result for the Flyers.
One of the young developing players on the Flyers roster. From 2 is the last one, just couldn't drop. 13 points away, the Spirit. Samuels under pressure, gets it out to Wilson. Wera, share it around Simpson. Now they go back to Wilson. Gonna find a way through the Southside defense. Samuel, that's one way to do it.
Well, I was just thinking that was pretty good defense there, and then Samuels and that's what we talked about. If Whitcomb's not on the floor scoring, if Griffin's not doing her thing, somebody else will.
Samuels is a little jealous of Whitcomb getting all the points. He said, hang on, what about me? Pretty deadly from that range. Young pulls the trigger. Bounces off the rim. Hillman wins it back, gives it to Ernst. Overcooks it. Rock keeps it alive. No, she had a foot out of play. And halftime here at Red Energy Arena. And the ladder leaders have been dominant. They lead the Flyers 51-35 potentially. It's not quite half-time.
Well, this happened in the Townsville game too, where they put 0.1 of a second back on the clock.
Yeah, .04, I think it was. So now we've got .5. As they just clean that up, and now we're heading to halftime. So Bendigo full of confidence at the moment. What an incredible first half performance. 51-35 over the Flyers at halftime. Laurie Chiswick, nothing short of pure dominance.
Well, you have to say that Sammy Whitcomb owned that first half with her 26 points. She just was phenomenal, doing it from the three-point line, doing it in the paint, getting some steals as well. And as Christy Harrower's message was to her team, know where Sammy Whitcomb is at all time.
Public enemy number one. If you're in the Southside Flyers camp, they've got plenty to work on at halftime. It is a 16-point lead to the Spirit, and Gabe Richards is courtside with the star of the show in that first half.
I am. I'm here with Sammy. Unbelievable first half from you, Sammy. 6 threes. How important is it for you to find your range early?
Yeah, I think when we share the ball like we've been doing, feet in the paint, kickouts, it makes my job a lot easier. These are some of, these have been really good looks for me, I feel like. So it's really nice to actually make some of them and knock them down. I think it helps us with our spacing the rest of the way.
Yeah, and certainly your defensive intensity as a team has been another level today. You've kept them to 35 points for the half. Is that important heading into finals?
Yeah, it's super important heading into finals. I think as well, like this, Southside in general are a very tough team offensively. They've given us fits in the past. So I think for us, it was a real focus defensively. We needed to show up in this game.
Fantastic. All the best for the second half. We can't wait to see.
Thanks for that little thing to Win Energy, powering the next generation of basketball superstars.
So I've been playing overseas for the last 3 seasons, and probably 2 of those seasons I said, oh, maybe it's time to come home. But it got to the end of this last season and my husband had been travelling with me and sacrificing work opportunities to be with me overseas, and he got offered a job with the Bendigo Spirit as the general manager. I thought about all different things and whether I go to China or try somewhere else, but I hesitated because I've only ever played for Canberra and the AIS. So it was a really tough decision for me because I loved that club and I loved being a part of it and what it stood for over the past few years. But with Dan working for the club and my friends in Kelsey Griffin, Kelly Wilson, Abby Werung, players I've played before, and that welcoming environment with Coach Kennedy, who I'd had a little bit in the past, came around and thought it was the right decision to go. I've had a bit of experience all over the world and in the WNBL before, and so I will try and share my knowledge and my experiences with the team. But the beauty of our team is we have so many talented players of different experience levels, and we have a good mixture of all different things. I think we really balance each other out and all can bring something to the table like that. So I look forward to being a piece of that puzzle.
Here's Griffin, Tolo. Feigned the shot, it drives away through and puts it in for 2.
Kelsey's an amazing person and one of my close friends, and she was part of my wedding party last year, and she's just such a phenomenal leader on the court and thinks all about basketball and all the different options and really lives and breathes it, and not only on the court but off the court too. She's just a great role model for young kids and aspiring athletes of any type, and someone who's always striving to be better and to push themselves to the limit. It's no wonder that we won 2 championships together in the past, and hopefully we can replicate that again this season.
In this club's proud history, the Canberra Capitals are champions of the WNBL.
Bendigo hasn't been in the finals for 10 years, and so success would be to get there and really aim at, pushing ourselves to the limit, and whether we can get a championship, I think it's achievable, but it's really hard and a special thing to do. So a lot of things have to fall in place for that to happen, but it's something that we can definitely aim for.
They're firing on all cylinders at the moment, the Bendigo Spirit at halftime here at Red Energy Arena. They're leading the Southside Flyers by 16 points. Jess Webster and Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. Laurie, as we check out some of the halftime highlights, what are your key takeaways from the first half? I have a feeling it starts with Sammy and ends with Whitcomb.
Exactly. She's just showing everything that she has in her string of the bow, that she can shoot from the 3. She's facilitated. We said that she's already on 26 points. So yes, it's about her, but still they are playing as a team, Bendigo. They are looking for each other. Flyers look a little bit flat, and maybe justifiably so after a big game against Townsville, but I love the professionalism of Bendigo. They are showing that they are well and truly on track for the finals. They want to still keep getting better, and they're showing that in today's game.
They're led by 8 points at quarter time, now at 16 at half time. These are the key stats, as we mentioned. Wickham on 26, Hillman with 12 points as well. Plenty of work to do for the Flyers. How do they get back into this, Laurie?
Well, again, you just want to, by the end of this next quarter, you want to have it at least under 10. So maybe it's, you say throw a zone in and get a handout to shooters, but the Spirit are just so well drilled. Carriana Kennedy has just, they've got an answer for everything. But I think it starts at the effort end. And again, if you get beaten by a better team,
Let's check out the Dream Courts plays of the round from round 13. Murphy already an important touch early to Cox, and we get the first bucket of the night. Cox comes up with a big block. Burden flies up the floor. Unbelievable, Burden.
Well, what a pass. On a platter for Southside.
Here's a chance to win a breathing thanks to our friends at Maccas.
If the opposition player steps up to the line and misses both free throws, every fan in the stadium gets a free burger.
So when the player steps up to the line, come on Spirit fans, make some noise!
You heard the ladies, folks. Every time the Flyers get to the free throw strike, if they miss two, we'll get Maccas cheeseburgers. Let's welcome friends at Maccas.
Bendigo Toyota has more than 80 used cars on the one site, including a massive range of Toyota certified pre-owned vehicles. There's small cars, sedans, four-wheel drives, hybrids, and even hybrids. Bendigo Toyota used cars. It's a must visit. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
From both teams have a purple band around the top of their singlet. This band is a powerful symbol of support for survivors of domestic violence, and this season the WNBL, its clubs, athletes and the Players Association have united to raise awareness around this critical issue. Enough is enough. A life free from violence is possible, and when everyone plays a role, real change happens. So please learn how you can be part of the solution by visiting Full Stop Australia. So a big second half to come here in Bendigo. Jess Webster and Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. And courtside for us today, two-time Bendigo Premiership star Gabe Richards. Hello to you, Gabe.
Hi, we'll continue to be on 3 watch here in Bendigo with Sammy already having 6 for the half. but she's only 19 points away from 3,000 career points. She'll join an impressive list of teammates who have also achieved that feat in Kelsey Griffin, Callie Wilson and Mariana Tolo.
Thanks so much, Gabe and Laurie. It probably wasn't a record that we were expecting her to break today, but she's got 26 points at halftime. So if she reaches 45 today, Sammy Whitcomb will join the 3,000 club.
I wonder if she realizes that or Kennedy realizes that. I've been in a situation calling a game before when I think it was, maybe Jess Bibby, and she needed, 2 points to make this great record. She was subbed off and everybody was no, and they didn't even realize it, so.
We'll see what happens in the second half. Dominant first half from the Spirit, looking to make it 9 in a row today as they march towards the finals after clinching the minor premiership on Friday night with a 21-point win over Geelong.
Well, one thing I really noticed about the first half stats was that Bendigo had 15 assists compared to Southside, which have had 2. So they're playing some really good team basketball and taking care of it. Only 5 turnovers.
Lockridge, snap to Rochi. It's a travel, so she's turned it over. As you mentioned at halftime, it's a tough weekend for Southside. They're playing one of the informed teams, basically 2 of the informed teams in the competition at the moment. So Towns are on a 6-7 game winning streak on Friday night. They took it right up to them, Southside, and now they face the ladder leaders 2 days later, searching for 9 in a row. A tough weekend, but it's all about energy and effort and spirit in this second half. Chance for Wilson in the corner to get us underway in the third.
Great dribble drive penetration by Veronica Burton, and then finding her open teammate, Kelly Wilson, feet set, ready to go.
And comes up short. 12 points for Nars Hillman in the first half. Top scorer so far for Southside. Wilson is infringed. Burton just clutching her shoulder. She's a little sore. Floor cleaned up. Great crowd in attendance today, enjoying some Sunday afternoon hoops. Why wouldn't you come along and support this team? They're just playing incredibly at the moment.
Well, they get a bye next week, so that'll be, that's they can afford to go. They want to go hard here. They want to make sure that they're, getting better every time they're on the court, and then they have that bye.
Wickham again feeding Tolo. We've seen that plenty of times in the opening half.
And then Bendigo have Canberra away for their last game in round 16.
Fun one to watch with Canberra still in the hunt for that 4th position. So 3 teams trying to get that last place in the finals, and Sydney,
Sydney,
Geelong and UC.
Yeah, Sydney, and you've got to add in Adelaide.
Adelaide,
into that mix now, because with that win over Perth, that puts them right back in the picture for the race for 4th spot. But Sydney really are in the driver's seat as their destiny is still in their own hands.
It'd be incredible effort for Sydney to make the top 4, given they've had a lot of injury concerns as well. They've had a roller coaster season. We're just having an incredible finish coming up to the regular season. Can't take your eyes off the WNBL at the moment.
Well, we won't know until the last game of the last round to know who makes that 4th spot and who actually ends up in 2nd and 3rd, because right now it's all very close between Townsville and Perth.
Of course, the last 2 games of that final round, Adelaide take on Geelong, followed by Townsville and Perth.
And right now, Townsville and Perth, they've each won a game. So that'll determine head-to-head as well.
Just can't wait. Here's Burton for the Spirit. Decides to let it fly from deep.
So again, from the Flyers, that that she's a great 3-point shooter, Burton. She shoots the 3 ball at 38%. You just have to match up early on her. You can't just let her bring the ball up the floor and shoot it open, an open look.
Now out to a 20-point advantage. And not content with that, they want to add more to the scoreboard. Tolo inside against Kunek. 14 points now for Mariana Tolo, including 8 rebounds. Maddie Rocci goes for Hillman. Oh, Griffin got a hand in there, and it's come up the Spirit's way.
Well, you know Hillman, when she gets the ball inside, she's very proficient at finishing, so she doesn't often pass it out unless she's doubled straight away. So really smart by Griffin to hedge down, get a hand to it, then it ended up going off of Hillman, and Bendigo find themselves with the ball.
Kelly Wilson calling the shots. Gets it off to Burton. It's Kunek for company. Shot clock ticking down. Tolo decides to go herself, knocks it down. And they're continuing their strong performance from the first half. Sammy Wickham still on the 26 points. But we know she always finishes strongly, generally.
Well, interesting. I just was watching her in that last play phase, and she didn't move a lot. She's quite happy now for her teammates to shine and star, and if necessary, she'll bring herself into the game, but she's such a team player.
Let's head courtside to Gabe Richards, who's been lurking around the Bendigo camp. What have you found out, Gabe?
Quick chat to Coach Kennedy at halftime to see what his focus is in the second half. And Laura, you mentioned those 15 assists from the Bendigo Spirit. He said that's going to be the focus for this half, just continuing to move the ball and find those great shots that they're getting one another.
Thank you to Gabe courtside for us, and it sounds funny to say, Laurie, but it is a challenge for coaches when your team's performing at such a high level to keep them at that level and give them little goals to work on when, you know, they're in such a commandable position.
Well, it is, and it is, you know, to keep their focus, and that, but to me that shows a real sign of professionalism, which this team has in plenty. And so, and the other thing is it gives each of them, and they've all, I mean, there's another example, drive and dish out to a shooter. But anytime there's an interview, anytime you see them speaking or anything written, they all talk about the team chemistry and how much it doesn't matter who scores, and it gives them just as much pleasure making assists to an open shooter, and you can just see it on the court. And so that's something, if that's a focus, and I, you know, 15 assists in the first half, that's massive. So I think that is a good focus, and it brings you know, they're happy to do that. And it makes it really hard to defend. When you're passing the ball around, you've got the floor spread, they've got great spacing because of their three-point shooters, they've got strong inside presence with Tolo, with Griffin in there. Makes it tough to defend, and that's why they're minor premiers, and that's why they've been top of the ladder the whole season.
Looking for a quick win in the kitchen? Latina Fresh Pasta will do the trick. It's easy, Aussie made, and seriously yummy for the whole family. What's not to love? Make dinner a slam dunk with Latina Fresh, proud sponsors of the WNBL. Five minutes to go here in the third quarter. You're speaking about assists before, Laurie. 19 now for Bendigo. Burton has 7 of them. Wilson up to the 4. She's obviously the assist queen of the league. But a pretty even spread of contributors in that statistic as well. Wickham's chipped in with 3, Griffin and Tolo a couple each. So they really are, when you talk about team performances and an even spread of contributors, that is Bendigo to a T.
It is, and it's hard to find a crack in their armor right now if you're the opposition, because you look along the stat line of the real significant stats, and they're second in field goal percentage, first in three-point possession, first in free throws, the best team that takes care of the ball, so they turn the ball over the least. It's just really difficult to find any cracks right now.
Southside under pressure at the moment. Almost a bit of, they're under the pump. 26 points the lead to Bendigo. Rare turnover opens the door for Rochi to capitalise. Looking for support. She kicks it out to Ernst. Looks to go back to Kunik, and that second time in a row, they've just had a little bit of miscommunication. And they've handed it straight back to the Spirit.
Yes, unfortunately for Alice Kunik and her 250th game, she hasn't scored yet. She's battled on, but probably not exactly the way she wants to be celebrating this milestone. And isn't it a wonderful milestone?
Began her career with the AIS and a WNBL championship in 2011, which I think was her first season at Balloon Boomers as well. Obviously played with Dandenong, Perth, Sydney. A wonderful contributor across the league, and it's just another beautiful team play.
I think every player touched the ball in that play phase. The ball was reversed, got an inside look, good angled pass.
Ernst lets it fly.
Great job by Carly Ernst. That's her shot, so if she's open for a split second, they need that from her.
Simpson onto the floor. The Spirit gets it out to Wilson. They swing it across again. Happy to share it around and leave Samuels to pull the trigger. It's pretty to watch.
Well, Casey Samuels, and we've said this before in commentary, has done a good job of changing her roles. When she was a starter, when Kelsey Griffin was out injured the first little bit of the season, she started and did well. And sometimes it's hard then to be moved to the bench and have that same mentality. But every time she comes on, she has an influence in the game, whether it's at the defensive end or scoring her three-point shots.
There's a replay. Great action, technique. .25 points the margin, 3 minutes to go here in the third. It's come unstuck for Tolo.
Good active hands by Carly Ernst, just poking the ball out of Tolo's hands.
She takes a rest.
You can see Beck Cole there in the picture. She's missed the last few games and, well, a couple of games and out for the rest of the season with her injury.
She'd love to be out there, wouldn't she, Laurie? She's such a competitor and such a proud flyer.
Certainly different to the position that they were in last year.
She has to come back on and take some shots. Foot Locker is celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate their half-century in the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL.
Maddie Rocci's up to 8 points now. Make that 9.
Now she heads back to the bench for a rest. We're on Wickham watch at halftime. She hasn't added to a halftime tally of 26 points, but it's generally what you can expect from a full-time tally. So maybe she's just thought,
well, I think again, I think she's bringing her teammates in, and she doesn't have to exert quite so much energy. We see that she's resting right now, and I'm not even sure how much more we'll see of Sammy Whitcomb.
Certainly set the tone in a big way.
We did get excited, though, with 26 first half points.
Yeah. Werong goes for it from outside the arc.
What a wonderful shooting technique Abby Werong has. She just came off of that picture perfect. Her follow-through was great.
Lockridge tries to feed it off to Booth, but it's come unstuck. 2.5 to play in the third. Bendigo keep ticking along. Simpson to Wilson. Happy to play with a bit of patience. Now opens up the door for Simpson to get in on the action. She can't do so.
Abby Werong's another one on this Bendigo Spirit lineup that just plays her role perfectly. I think she's often a little bit underrated when she's playing with such great superstars, but She is a wonderful defender. She's a great three-point shooter. She just has a great IQ and a really good teammate.
The depth runs deep, doesn't it? Here's Wilson.
It does, and that's, you know, to win a championship, you need that depth and you need a little bit of luck. No injuries, and right now, you know, I mean, everybody has a few niggles at this time of the season, but really they're relatively healthy and they've got the depth. And that's the same if you look at Townsville and Perth, where they're sitting right now too. You know, Townsville boasted their lineup with Nia Coffey, and they're healthy, and
First action here, can we go Mike him down to Cal? Cal, you're at the point. Mike, you are the over. Sammy, you're under. So we're at fist here. Let's get Casey to go screen first action. And second side, I want us to go shape. Shape with Cal. Into a pin down Ashley. Mike is going first side. Then we're shifting your side. You're the side kick and we're coming down the side.
Take one last one with it.
Welcome back to Red Energy Arena. Bendigo Spirit leading Southside Flyers by 26 points as we come out of a timeout here in the third quarter. Spirit looking to have a little bit more pain. Cannon onto the floor for Bendigo, and Wickham gets the first points of the third quarter. Not done with yet. Rochi looks to respond at the other end, bounces off the rim, goes out of play.
it's good to see Ashley Hannon on the court. We know that she missed 6 or 7 weeks. She was out with concussion, so you know, through that time she was able to keep training, and how good for her to be able to train against Tolo and Griffin, but she just couldn't get cleared to play games, so it's great to see her out there. She could be playing some valuable minutes come before finals time, and you just never know.
Wilson from the corner is off target. Hillman working on Samuels. Great D from Casey Samuels. So we see a whistle off the play. So we'll take another look at this one-on-one battle. Samuels finds herself to the charity stripe. Wickham rather, my mistake. To 30 points now.
Maybe we can get Gabe to go and tell Coach Kennedy to make sure Wickham stays on and get some good points in this fourth quarter.
She needed 45 points coming into today to reach 3,000. We didn't quite expect it, but she's on track. Let's see what happens in the final quarter. They lead by 30 now, Bendigo. Stolen away from Wickham. Young takes it down the floor. Samuels with the defense. She's fouled. Mentioned earlier, Laurie, about some of the young talent that is missing in action today. But one player who was watching on the sidelines, we believe, is Lavinia Cox as well, who was part of that under-18s, under-20s rather, win for Victoria today. Scored the winning points, and she's also a recent AFLW draftee to Hawthorn. A wonderfully talented young player. potentially following in the footsteps of Monconti.
Yes, that's what I was just thinking, the same thing.
Who recently as well, Monconti brought up game number 150 in the WNBL. Incredible story. Final few seconds here of the third quarter. Flying shot is no good. Burrows from halfway. And that'll do us to three-quarter time as we
shapes and flows. So you want to get change of sides a bit, okay? What did they have that quarter, do you know? 50? 1? 25. You stay on Sammy. Stay on Sammy. Don't let her push you into screens. You push into screens, see if you can get a flop, okay?
I also told her that they can't turn into us with their hand off, like that's a moving screen.
Exactly. Let's go. Stay with that while we're doing that defensively. So actually out of here. Let's go. Actually,
go Jayco and she can pretend to down.
Yes, yeah. Go with Jayco. And Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary as we get the final quarter underway here at Red Energy Arena. And we also might check in courtside to Gabe Richards, who was around the Bendigo huddle at three-quarter time. Gabe?
I did sneak into the Bendigo huddle, and Kennedy was just really emphasising that they need to continue to move the ball. They've got 21 assists up until three-quarter time, and they've just had great success being unselfish and moving it to find the open player. So hopefully that open player is Sammy Whitcomb for us. We'd love to see her get another couple of threes and get that 3,000-point milestone.
Absolutely, Gabe.
Sorry, Gabe, I bet you felt like you should just be sitting on the bench as part of the team. Such a hero of the Bendigo spirit.
It might have been hard not to put my hand in the huddle, but it's fantastic to see them playing such brilliant basketball.
Absolutely. Spirit is definitely high in Bendigo at the moment. On their way to have a serious tilt at the championship. As Whitcomb slips through her fingers. Ball goes out of play, so Bendigo win it back.
So if you're in the Southside huddle at three-quarter time, Laurie, and Christy Harrow, what kind of messages are you trying to reiterate to this Flyers group?
Well, I think she, you know, as a coach, you try and come up with some little things. So it might be, let's win this last quarter. I heard her ask what the score difference was in that third quarter. So again, it's just about having some pride in the fact that you've got the Flyers uniform on, and you just want to be as competitive as you can.
See what they can come up with. Burton's leading away with 7 assists. Puts it off to Griffin, who's off target. Rocci for Reed. Back to Rocci, under pressure by Wilson. That'll be a foul.
Kelly Wilson is just, every time I watch her play, it puts a smile on my face. You know, our game's record holder, and she still just bounces around. She runs on her toes, and she's, you know, her body would get banged around, as we just see on this instance here, and over how many games, and she is still out there contributing and smile on her face.
Certainly loves it. And we love having her in the WNBL. She broke Gabe's Bendigo games record as well. So leading games scorer, leading games player. What am I trying to say, Laurie? leading
we just know she's played a lot of games
at Bendigo as well as in the league. What I'm trying to say is that she is royalty in the WNBL, Kelly Wilson.
She is, absolutely.
That's my point.
However you want to say it, she is royalty.
Reed to get us back underway. Nice little 1-2 with Hillman. Now looking for Booth and just pass over her head.
Was the right idea, the right cut by Booth in there, just not, the pass just wasn't executed by Tara Reed.
One of the positives that Southside can take out of this is the experience of some of their young development players up against the competition's best here this afternoon. Plenty to take away.
Well, we mentioned Hannon being on there in the third quarter, and she's come on in the start of this fourth quarter, replacing Mariana Tolo. Well, there you go. Just as I say that, Tolo subs her off. But again, just great experience, great minutes.
Whitcomb, does she want to add to a tally? Yes, she does! 33 points and counting. Here is Booth. Handing it off to Reed. Here's Burton for company. Now to Rocci. Can they manufacture here? That's a better pass to Hillman, who does find the finish.
Great cut by Naz Hillman. A hard cut and a good find by Maddie Rocci.
So it's Bendigo by 8 points at quarter time, 16 at half time, 28 at three-quarter time. They've continued to build throughout this contest. As we know, Laurie, it's not only winning games that are important heading into finals, but momentum as well. They wouldn't want to take their foot off the gas because they want to keep pushing and getting that momentum into finals to have a real serious
Exactly, and I was able to actually chat to Shannon Seabaum after their game against Southside the other night, and you know, yes, they won, but they were pushed, and he felt that they had some lapses, and you just building towards the final, you can't. So that's something that they need to work on, building towards the final. And then you look at Perth last night, losing to Adelaide. So you can't take your foot off the pedal anytime, and Bendigo just aren't doing that. They're showing that they're prepared to put their bodies on the line, no matter who they're playing, and the respect they have for all the other teams.
They haven't at all gotten complacent. The two losses they've had this season, both coming in round 8. 3-point loss to Perth, 3-point loss to Southside. So they're two losses by a combined 6 points.
Yeah.
It really is a remarkable season.
I remember talking to Kennedy Kiriyama after those two losses and saying, you know, did he think it wasn't such a a bad thing to have those losses, because there's a lot of pressure when you go undefeated through a season.
And no team's done that
And
in the
no
WNBL.
team's done that. And so then to have that extra pressure going into the finals. And the other thing too is it's a bit of a reality check that, you know, you can get beaten. This Southside now, they looked a little bit different last time. We know that Beck Cole was the leading scorer, but you just can't take any team for granted. And maybe that'll be the case for Perth yesterday against Adelaide. You know, Adelaide took it right at them and absolutely deserved that win. But that Perth can't take anything for granted either. Nobody can, any night.
Absolutely, a nice three-pointer from Lockridge. And it goes to show the quality of the WNBL too, that any team can beat anyone on any given day.
That's exactly right. If you've got your... That was a good look inside, a nice seal, just a little bit off with the pass, but it's so true. I mean, Geelong were competitive against the Spirit other than for the last quarter, and so, you know, they've had a lot of injury problems too, and so it's a credit to the coaches. I really think the coaches do a wonderful job, and that's head coaches and assistant coaches that put in to me, are the unsung heroes, and put in a lot of work behind the scenes, scouting and getting teams ready for their next opposition.
Hillman adding to a tally. She's up to the 18 points, including 4 rebounds. Tolo now is also up to 20. Wilson comes up short. Tolo with a rebound. Wilson across to Burton. Can't get it to go from long range.
That was interesting. I thought Carly Ernst actually did a pretty good job of blocking out Mariana Tolo. Clearly the referees have a better... They're right there on top of things. Well, the team's continuing their high percentage at the free throw line, 82% as a team.
Mariana Tolo, 22 points now.
And that'll hold them in good stead if and when there's another close game, but wasn't that a great pass and finish?
Hillman's also reached 20 points. Burton up to Griffin. Back to Burton. Share it around. Now she goes herself off the glass for 2. Great move. But she goes herself. Bounces off the rim. Great hustle from Hillman, but even better block from Tolo. Wilson wrestles for it. Hillman's not too pleased.
That's just real frustration from Hillman, because normally she is so even-keeled. She doesn't have many highs or lows. She just has a game face on, so you can just see the frustration in her.
It's been a tough battle for Southside here this afternoon, taking on the competition's best. Fortunately for Southside, they're heading towards their 8th loss in a row. And some frustrations perhaps boiling over for Nars Hillman.
The other thing I can say about Sammy Whitcomb is leading, I mean, her scores today right now, 33 points, but averaging 21 points. And averaging 21 points in a team that is filled with scorers. So often the top scorer in the competition, you know, they're the go-to player of that team. But you look at Bendigo, and they've got 5 players in double figures. And so to be the top scorer in a team like that, and be the league's top scorer in a team that's filled with scores, is pretty phenomenal.
It's amazing to think what she's doing at this stage of her career. And so too Kelly Wilson's pretty amazing to see what she's doing as well. Just continues to perform week in, week out. 30 points, the lead to the Spirit. Ernst again knocks down another triple. That's her 3rd.
of the match.
Brings her up to 11 points, Carly Ernst.
Here's Tolo to Werong. As I mentioned before, is an important role player for the Spirit. Ada Wilson, shot clock ticking down. Tolo has to make something happen. Good defense from Southside. There's Rock looking for Ernst. Goes to Lockridge, working the baseline. Gets fouled.
There's a little good communication between Ernst and Lockridge. Carly Ernst got the ball and just a little bit of a nod to Lockridge to make that cut in there, and unlucky not to finish that, but finds herself at the foul line.
Nicely done, 2 from 2 at the line for Lockridge. As we enter the final 5 minutes of play here at Red Energy Arena. Tammy Whitcomb still in touch for her record. She's on 33 points. She's
just not on the
currently
court,
on the bench.
though.
I know. I keep watching to see when is she going to come back on.
I think we'll have to wait for another game to have that record broken. Well, and truly could be in the last round when they play Canberra, because they do have a bye next weekend in round 15.
Would be just the cherry on top for an outstanding season for Sammy Whitcomb to break the 3,000 mark in the final game.
Well, you'd have to assume that she certainly has a very good chance.
The Spirits run home, of course, today against the Flyers, and a bye next week before finishing off their campaign away against the Capitals, who are fighting for a place in the top 4.
Well, interesting, when we look at the head-to-head with those couple of teams that are vying for that 4th spot, you've got Sydney have head-to-head against Canberra and Geelong. Canberra have head-to-head against Adelaide and Geelong. Adelaide have head-to-head against Sydney, and Geelong have head-to-head against Adelaide. So it's all still, you know, it might in fact end up being a 3-way tie.
You need a degree in mathematics, I think, to try and predict
I love it.
what the ladder's going to be at the end of the regular season. And we won't know until the final day of the last round who is actually playing in finals. It's very exciting.
Well, and as we said, it's not only about that 4th spot, it's about who finishes 2nd and 3rd, because you get home court advantage then in the 3-game series. And right now it's split, 1 win each between Townsville and Perth.
So the only thing we know for sure is that Bendigo will finish first.
And they've locked in 1st spot, exactly. And they are playing like they are, you know, a team that deserves to be locked into 1st spot.
Absolutely. Here's Hillman looking to add to a tally. Showing some frustration earlier, but she's been one of their best. 20 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of blocks as well for Naz Hillman. And the local Bendigo fans enjoying the contest today. As we take a look at the ladder at the moment, this is how close it is. Spirit are the only team that we know is going to finish first. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, all in the finals mix.
Well, we know that the Lynx and the Fire are definitely in the finals. We just don't know whether they're going to be 2nd and 3rd or that, but they've definitely locked in their spot as well. But I was thinking about it'd be interesting if Townsville did win that game on the Sunday of the final round and meant that they would go into 2nd spot. Would Perth actually stay there? Would they go back to Perth and then fly back to Townsville? You know, there's so much to consider when it comes to finals time.
Because that is a long flight from Perth to Townsville.
But it's also a long time to be away from, you know, home if you haven't planned that either. So they'll have plan A, B, and C all in place.
Cannot wait to see how it unfolds. 4 minutes to go here. Lockridge loses her feet, but she gets the foul, and she will head to the line for a couple more. So Bendigo have
Their whole bench on the floor at the moment. Hannon, Simpson, Warren, Booth and Samuels. So I dare say we have seen the last of Sammy Whitcomb today. Set this match alight in the first half with 26 points. As we head to a timeout here in the last quarter, Spirit leading the Flyers by 25 points. It was 8 points the margin at quarter time, 16 at half time, 28 at the final change. Are they going to win the championship this year, or are we going to see another twist in the tail of season 24-25 in the final series? As the Flyers run home, they'll be hoping just to avoid last place. So they take on, obviously, Spirit today. That game next week will be huge against the Lightning, and then they take on the Flames in the final round, which you think both those two games coming up for the Flyers are winnable.
Well, they are winnable. You know, in their minds, they would definitely be winnable, and Adelaide and Sydney will both be, you know, wanting to win or knowing the necessity, the desperation to win those games to still try and secure that fourth spot. So, yeah, there's so much to play out.
And I just think the Flyers, even though they're on the bottom of the ladder, they're not a team you want to run into because they still have quality on their roster. They got within 5 points of Townsville. They've beaten Bendigo before this season, so their best on any given day will be good enough.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you know, if they can just find that spark, I mean, it's tough playing those top two teams in one round and coming so close to Townsville and then backing up, you know, having one night at home, then driving to Bendigo the next day and playing them in Sunday afternoon match.
Zabby Werang handing it off to Simpson. Now to Samuels. Rattles out, and it's with a rebound. Off to Rock. Out to Lockridge. 16 points for Lockridge today. Rock lets it fly. Well done with a rebound, just can't find the finish. Warren takes it away. Goes herself from long range, knocks it down. Her third three-pointer. Spirit have cracked the 90 mark. An average 85 points per game this season. Lockridge looking to respond with a triple of her own.
And that's what they want to keep doing, the Flyers. They want to keep looking to try and be positive with these bench players on. It's valuable minutes for both teams.
Let's say courtside to Gabe Richards for an update.
It is really important now for the bench, especially for the Spirit side that have come on now in these final minutes. As they head into finals, I'm sure Kennedy's keen to get some confidence into them as they take on that premiership run.
Yeah, it's a really good point because it does, to win a championship, you have to do it by committee and you need everyone to play a role, even if they get on the court or not, Laurie.
Well, you do, and you never know, you know, with fouls, with, I'm not going to say the other injury thing, you just never know. What, you know, it's a best of three for both the semis and the finals. And at this time of year, there's, you know, it's a cumulative fatigue from everybody, but you have to say that they've, the Spirit, once they got Abby Werong and Kelsey Griffin, they've been pretty rock solid in their lineup and what they've had and what they've been able to put on the court. So Kennedy's done a good job of being able to manage minutes.
Final 2 minutes here at Red Energy Arena. 21 points, the lead for Bendigo. Werong penetrates. Can't get it done. Southside on the rebound. Booth kicks it out to Lockridge into the corner. For Burrows of the Page variety. Lockridge. Can't get it to go. Samuels with a rebound. Around back to Samuels. They share it across to Simpson. Back to Samuels. Shot clock ticking down. Good defense from the Flyers. And they've done well to come up with a stop.
They have just a little bit lack of movement from Bendigo.
Rock with a nice move. Can't get it to go, but Burrows, rather. Taya, off to Page. Now to Ernst. Ernst, off the glass. Nice finish for two.
See Kelsey Griffin back on the court for this last minute, less than a minute of play.
See if they can crack the 100. Here's Werong. This will help if it drops. Not this time. They've been dominant from start to finish, this Bendigo Spirit outfit. Sealed a place in the finals and sealed the minor premiership against Geelong on Wednesday night, and they backed it up here with their last home game of the regular season. Will it be the year of the Spirit?
Well, Southside, they won the last quarter.
But it's the Bendigo Spirit who are on cloud 9. Full steam ahead for the minor premiers as they take down the Southside Flyers 92-73. They have now won 9 games in a row, and they are the team to beat in season 24-25.
No doubt about that. They showed a lot of professionalism on the court today in a game that it was #1 team playing #8. And I give them full credit for the way they came out and kept building.
Final margin at the end is 19 points, as you mentioned, Laurie. Southside won the final quarter. It just hasn't been their day this afternoon. Taking on the competition's best in absolute fine form indeed. Sammy Wickham finished with a 33 points. She had 26 in the first half, was absolutely unstoppable. She had 8 3-pointers as well in what was an incredible performance. Tolo finished with 22 points, including 9 rebounds as well. Nearly double-double. And for Southside Flyers, Nars Hillman again top scored with 22 points, 4 rebounds as well. Lockridge ended her day on 21 points. As well with a couple of assists and a couple of steals, but it was Bendigo who simply burst out of the gates, set the tone. They put on 30 points in the first quarter to lead by 8, extended their margin to 16 at halftime. The game was over pretty much by three-quarter time. They led by 28 points before Southside managed to claw back a little bit in the final quarter. And it is Spirit 92-73 at the end of the game as we head courtside to Gabe Richards, who is with Mariana Tolo.
I'm here with Tolo. Congratulations on an unbelievable game again by the Spirit. You guys are flying high heading into the final round of the season and the finals.
Yeah, you know, you want to go into finals with confidence, and I think we're trying to stay locked into every game, to go through the process, getting prepared for every game like it is our last. And yeah, that credit to us today, we did a great job of that. Southside are a tough team. They've beaten us before, and they have, you know, incredible players, and yeah, we did all the right things today, and it came up our side, fortunately.
Such unselfish play too. You guys moved the ball so well and had incredible amount of assists. You just seem to give up a great shot for an even better one, and you were on the end of that with 22 points today. How'd that feel?
Great. I love it. You know, sometimes you just stand there in the game and you see the extra kick pass and you're like, oh yeah, here we go. That's what it's all about. Everyone wants to play their best basketball, and that's why we play a team sport, because you want everyone to play their best and put their best foot forward. And when you see that happening, it's just great. And tonight I was on the end of a lot of great passes from people, and that was fortunate. But you know, tomorrow it could be anyone. We've got the team that has the talent and the skills and the hard work and the ethic, and
you just kind of read off what our opposition are giving us.
Yeah, certainly. We wish you all the best heading into the final round of the finals. We can't wait to see the Spirit run deep.
Thanks. Good to see you, Gabe.
Thanks to Gabe and Mariana. Back courtside because Gabe Richards is with one very, very happy Bendigo coach. Over to you, Gabe.
I am with one very happy Bendigo coach, Coach Kennedy. Such an impressive game today. You were so unselfish and really hitting your straps heading into the final.
Yeah, no, really happy with the effort and execution by the team today. You know, I mean, Southside they're a great outfit. They're well coached. I mean, Christy has that group playing incredibly competitive basketball, and they've had an unfortunate run of injuries, which, you know, I'm sure we've all experienced before. I certainly know I've had my fair share of those. So just great for us to be in a position where we're able to manage bodies, be able to play our bench, be able to continue to work on things that are going to help us get to where we want to get to towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and it was incredibly humid here today. You did a great job of getting everyone into the game. How important is it to have a full team effort heading into the final?
Yeah, absolutely. The heat was pretty intense. The only thing hotter than the heat, I think, was Sammy's shooting for the night. But yeah, look, really important to be able to give people opportunity and rhythm, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to do that the majority of the season. And again, you know, I think particularly, you know, we had Ash Hennon really late. She's been struggling to get back to return to play, so being able to put her on the floor and give her minutes is really important for us. But we really just want to have a group that's playing great team basketball, feeling fresh, and I think we've done a really good job of achieving those things.
Brilliant. We wish you all the best heading into the final round and the final.
Thanks, Gabe.
Thanks so much to Gabe courtside for us today. So that's the end of round 14, Laurie. So take a look to what is going to be a massive round 15 next week. And it all starts on Wednesday night, Adelaide against Townsville. That's going to be a great game.
Well, you just look down that list of those 4 games, and there's so many important games, especially ending Capitals in Sydney on Sunday afternoon. Get around it and watch the WNBL.
Absolutely. Great to have you alongside me for Sunday afternoon hoops, Laura. Always great to see you.
That was fun. That was really good. It was, you know, not the greatest day of the office for the Southside Flyers, but it's always a pleasure watching Bendigo Spirit play and the way they go about their business.
Bendigo is certainly a force to be reckoned with in season 24-25. Sammy Wickham top scoring with 33 points as they take down the Southside Flyers by 19. Thanks for your company. Good afternoon.
Driving baseline. What a dive! Wickham. How sweet was that? Step back three.
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Jade Bell with the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from 3. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.